You are a yummy pineapple, and today I just want to show you a poll done from another YouTuber, and there's many other YouTubers out there, friends. They do these polls and they just basically gauge what the crowd is thinking, what the crowd is feeling, and you can basically kind of like poke out and see, do you have maximum exposure already given to a certain coin? Okay, now the question is if you could only hold one of these altcoins for the rest of this bull run, which one would it be? Okay, so shout out to my friend Swillyboo, who posted this in my telegrams. Look at the biggest one, man. We're literally nearly 50% of the audience is Soylana. Not surprising, okay? Because you always notice that. Very, very important, all right? Now, remember, in crypto, cash flow, forget it. Fundamentals, forget it, okay? Everything that we think we know about crypto, network effects, it's basically about expectations, all right? And network effects, which is just basically who's going to be exposed to see this thing, right? And is going to be told that it's the next greatest thing that they must own. So most of the times when people come into crypto, and same as stocks, they get told that something's great and they just want to buy it. And that's okay. Problem though is they're constantly chasing their tail and they're just following from what everyone else tells them is good. And then they end up buying the tops. So what you want to do is obviously look for these moments, like perhaps now, where you can kind of see that there's maybe a warning sign, okay? And I'll play some nice gentle angel music to smooth over these people. Because you're probably saying, well, I don't see a warning sign, right? I'm seeing all the biggest mainstream YouTubers talk about Soylana. People are using Soylana. It's all over every channel. They're saying, oh, it has adoption. It's got an ETF filing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm telling you, yeah, be careful, man. Just be careful, okay? Because it's not about who is like in your product during the hard times. It's not about that, okay? It's about right now, who is in today? Are there non-believers? That's what it comes down to. If there are a lot of non-believers, you're going to get wrecked. You know you're going to get wrecked, okay? Now, but here's the thing, okay? Bull market's still on, probably, but you have to look at how many people have been exposed to your thing now versus how many people were looking at it, say, a year ago. Now, here's the thing, right? With all these coins that existed, you had no idea what was going to be the ultimate winner. All right, so it's not your fault for like, oh, well, I didn't know that was going to be the unicorn. But now you still have to evaluate moving forward. How many more people have to hear about Soylana? Think about it. Every single person in the industry has been told about Soylana. They've been told it's got product market fit. It already has 1.2 million daily users. And this is the dangerous thing, friends. I've already seen Soylana people, Soylana influencers, they're sharing this this graph where they basically say you're so early to Soylana. They say there's 7 billion people in the world, and Solana's only got 1 million people using it daily. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, crap. I remember that every time, friends. That's the tops of, that's propaganda. Bull market propaganda, okay? So I even have a warning sign explicitly just saying, look, just a warning, the crowd is overly exposed to soy, okay? The largest YouTube influencers are making countless polls about crypto. The crowd is overwhelmingly stacked in Soylana. Sol now has had maximum exposure coverage by every single YouTuber, Twitter, fund shill, and macro writer, right? So that's pretty much it. Every single time you see someone say, well, what are the coins you got to own? They put now, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, they actually throw Sol in there, which is good. Look, friends, here's the thing. It can still make it at the end. I'm just telling you now, that switch from you are the worst thing to ever own, and now I've got to now have you next to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Be careful about that. Okay, just be very, very, very careful about that, because people who suddenly rush into decisions when that switch happens, they don't have a good track record or whatsoever. They get destroyed. Okay, because in crypto, what you end up doing is you end up FOMO buying the tops of people who are non-believers of that thing. Okay, so you can already see just from everybody's opinions as well. Everyone is turbo long, turbo stacked on soy with their soy infused hands. And look, there are things happening in the background, man. FTX still distributing, all these other big wallets are still distributing. Of course they are. And the inflation's still being paid out. But look, I'm not saying just a paper hand up. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you, you're trying to beat the crowd here. You're trying to buy low. You're trying to buy pre-exposure. So for example, if you're in any coin I like, you're basically taking a punt that your friend told me he's going to hit 100,000 subs, 300,000 subs on YouTube and Twitter. You're trying to front run that crowd. All right. It's very, very plain and simple. Okay. And if you're in Pulse Chain, for example, you're betting that Ethereum ETF buyers push up ETH, Richard Hart forces an alt season, and then you are buying before the desperate FOMO kids who have to basically punt everything much higher. Okay. In a nutshell, everything is pretty much like that. But here's the thing. If you are in Soylana, you've already been gifted pretty much a mega pump. And a lot of people, they don't believe it's a mega pump. They say, well, it's just getting started, okay? Because look, I just want to remind you something, friends. Even if you're going to look at the real chart, okay? This is the real chart. You look at the Sol ETH ratio. It's actually doing pretty good. It is doing well. Here's the thing though, okay? The thing though, friends, is, okay, you have now had this run, okay, from here. You went up a nice 6.4x, man. Isn't that wild though? Like, you had a 6.4x run, and that's a unicorn run. Just showing you, man, heavy market cap coins, that's what you get. Okay, so I'm just teaching you, okay? So you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to do anything. But sometimes you just think, wow, maybe I don't want to be long with everyone anymore. Okay, that's how you have to think about this stuff. That's it. How many non-believers are there in? Okay, now for fun and also relevant as well, I charted the Link Sol ratio. So all I did is you type in Link USD divided by Sol. You do it on TradingView. You need like one of those premium accounts. And look at this ratio. This is on a log chart as well. Like it's crashed down to earth, obviously because ChainLink went nowhere and Soylana just kept rallying. And now you can actually see now this big part here. Okay, now don't fool yourself just because you can just see this bottom of these ranges. You can chart any ratio with each other and it can confuse you, make you think that, oh, something's going to bottom out or something's going to top out. It's not necessarily the case, but I'm just telling you right now, even if you go back to that poll here, I mean, just look at this. It's funny. 10% of people chose Link, okay, and 5% AVAX. And only 11% ADA. But look at it. Everyone is stacked on Soylana. All right. Everyone is stacked, man. So another way to interpret this poll is basically you've got one dude in ChainLink, one dude in AVAX, one dude in Cardanzo, and there's 5 people in Soy. 5. Now, you know, man, you know, if you're on that same side of the boat, if this was any other coin, you know there's warning signs there, okay? But obviously, that's the tough thing about markets, okay? You got to catch lightning in a bottle twice. Okay, you can say, okay, Soylana, you are now expensive. Okay, now what? Okay, what's the cheap thing? Well, it's not really necessarily just about picking the next unicorn thing that goes up, because your chance of getting that right is it's difficult. But I'm just helping you understand that there are these points of inflection in time where you get to take a snapshot. Okay, well, do I want to be mega exposed with all these soy-infused hands and soy drinkers? Now, also, shout out to the baby doll. I'll play some Habibi Ali music for you. Shout out to the baby doll on my Telegram. It's so cute, just the way he said this. Basically, he said, well, he goes, you know, I have full faith in Soylana land because they're going to make transactions faster, number one. And then he said the centralization is going to drop a bit. Okay, and then number two, that was number 2. And number 3, like they're catering to people now with some updates. And I read that and I'm like, man, it's so hard in markets, man. It's so hard. If you don't know that is bearish as fuck, man, because it sounds so logical, man. Oh, they're finally making updates to get it faster. Friends, look, you can only understand what happens in markets if I gave you a big portion of token supply of a coin, and then I put you in the background, and you had to deal with the fact that you got a shitload of coins and you can't dump them all at once. And now you're challenged now because there's not enough liquidity. See, friends, you and me, 99% of us, you have absolutely no issue exiting Soylana or any other coin. Okay, you have no liquidity issues whatsoever. Understand? Oh, if you get out, okay, maybe it's a shit coin as well. It goes down like 2 to 3 or 4%. That's it, or 5%. That's it. These people literally can't get out. They literally can't get out. If they get out, there's not enough liquidity. So they have to think of schemes to get out. And by the way, I'm not just targeting Soylana. This happens in every single coin, every single stock, everything. Man, CEOs do this. Everyone does this, friends. You know Elon Musk, the muskrat? He did this. You know, in 2021. Okay? If you go check his time and sales of when he was dumping the most Tesla stock. Those the same weeks, do you know what he was saying? He says, we're going to go to Mars. We're all going to go to Mars. Yeah. The same weeks he was dumping. I mean, I know you're not going to believe me. I still know the chart off by heart. I can show it to you right now. Let's go to look at Tesla. Right? Right up here, man. Right up here. He's dumping the crap out of it. Like, this was mega. Hey, friends, I remember he was just dump. And I remember, man, think about this, man. Elon, the muskrat, is a very smart dude, but it's also, I'm very, like, just fascinated how he knew. So he figured out, how do I dump on everyone? He figured out. I've actually made videos on this before. And the truth is, so this is what they do, friends, is to dump. What they're trying to do is they're trying to draw forward all the future demand. So they start talking about stuff that's as far out into the future as they can get. They're trying to grab all the demand. So first thing they're going to say is, we got good results today, and we're going to have good results in 3 months. So those short-termers, they're already long, okay? Then they say, okay, next year, we're going to have the Cybertruck update version 2. And then you get the people who are thinking that long out. Okay, you get them people in as well. And then he says, in 3 to 5 years, we're going to have China Gigafactory again. Wow, bigger one. And you go, now you got the 5-year demand people. Okay. But look what ends up doing the dump. To dump, friends, how does he end up dumping all of these? He has to start saying, he goes, you know what? We're going to Mars. We're going to go to Mars within 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We'll be on Mars. You'll be eating moon rocks, Mars rocks. Woohoo! See? I couldn't, if you wrote this in a textbook, no one would believe you, by the way, because I can actually see it in real time. And by the way, he doesn't just do it, other influencers and stuff. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. CEOs, crypto. Yeah, that's how they do it, friends. They're basically, to be crude, they just talk a bunch of shit, pretty much. In 5 to 10 years, we're going to do this. Okay? So what they're trying to do is, they're trying to grab every single part of the curve. They're trying to grab all the demand and get them to buy today. That's what it is, okay? They're trying to just get people excited. Interesting, right? And it works, man. It works. It freaking works. So that's why, shout out to that baby doll. I said, Soylana, they're going to make the update, the chain faster on the centralization. I actually said to him, I go, bro, I know markets are tough, man. The best time to buy Soylana was when it was going down every 30 days. I'm just telling you, like, on this date, this is how these things, you have to update yourself in real time, friends. Okay, the best time to buy this stuff is when it's literally breaking down every 15 seconds. The best time to buy stuff is usually not when you have macro journal writers putting it in their top 3, 50% of every YouTube influencer says you gotta have it. Okay, every mainstream influencer is talking about it continuously. Okay, that's probably not the best. Okay, now, this is where it gets a bit tricky because you can get faked out. Okay, this is where it gets tough because ultimately it just depends on what you want out of this, friends, out of this crypto market cycle. Because like I even drew this and I'll show you, right? I drew this little chart here. Okay, I drew this little chart and this is the Sol ETH ratio. Okay, with the Sol ETH ratio is put on a weekly chart. It's always possible that you just have this little triangle thing that forms. It pops up, comes nowhere, goes sideways, and you look at this period, you go, that looks okay. You're still up from the bottom to the top. However, if this happens, friends, you will have gone sideways for 2 years, man. 2 years on Sol ETH ratio. But this is me talking, okay? Because look, obviously, I know what Raoul Powell and everyone else is expecting this to do. They believe this thing is going to do a 5x from here. Okay, so they really think it's going all the way up here, friends. Okay, they think it's going up here. Look, man, I hope it does. I hope it does. It's just scary. I'm just helping you identify, man. It's just freaking scary that, like, hey, You thought it was going to go up that high, but now we're like, at the point we are now, and 50% of YouTube poll audiences say, yes, I believe in you. All right, so remember that Elon Musk thing, right? You basically, the market's showing you, oh, everyone's long. Everyone's long. And I know, man, markets are tough, friends, because I know straight away, as soon as you present this information to someone, okay, no, Soylana ETF. The ETF's coming. The ETF's always coming. Also, friends, why people get wrecked is when I present something like this, what they do is they go back a year ago and they go, well, you never told us this big move was going to happen here. Therefore, everything you say is wrong. Okay? Because I know exactly, because I've done that. I've done that to people. I've done that when I first started in markets. That's how I know that. I go, oh, well, you know what I mean? So just because, then I start to learn, okay, just because some person's wrong 3 times in a row doesn't mean they're going to be wrong on the 4th time in a row. So I start to learn that and start to see that, okay? But luckily for you and me, like our job, like who cares what other people think? We're not here to convince people of another mindset or whatever. I don't really care. I'm just here to tell you, wow, you should be concerned. That's it. Okay, you don't have to like agree with that information or anything. I do like the fact that Link Sol is dirty on the way down, but hey, man, I mean, like, friends, we've got so much data now. I've told you, in a Bitcoin halving year, the narratives that take over the industry do not carry over the same strength to the final alt season. Okay? Now, of course, we don't have all the samples in the world, but it is scary, man, isn't it? Only thinking about it. Everything else I said happened before happened. Bitcoin drops 20% from the top. We have a narrative reset. AI, restaking, narrative reset. We had them, friends. So that is key information to know. And, it sounds like your ticket to a moonshot. Problem is, one, no one's on that unicorn, barely anyone in the industry. It's Soylana. And see, now they're all on, but they weren't on last year. Now they've all bought in. That's how they get wrecked. Number one. Number two, now they all think it's their whole cycle. Okay? Are you seeing a theme, friends? Like remember my saying, man, everyone thinks it's their cycle, it's just your turn. they literally think, nah, my cycle, I've got all the option. Don't ever forget the train stocks, man. The railway mania. You remember that? In the 1800s, friends. Okay. They underestimated competition. You can see it, the same thing in crypto. What do you have on your chain? Fast transactions. Okay. There's literally 100 nerds who are going to spam fast transactions on their chain now. What else do you have? Memes. Okay. You're just jeet festing. Sweet. They're going to put culture on all the other chains as well. See what I mean? You can start to pick away at it. And it makes you think, oh, why am I even holding this in the first place? Okay. If the prices go down, that's when everyone starts to get rational. But if they keep going up, like they have been in the past year, no one thinks twice. Okay. But now you got to be careful because now you have all the retailers in. Okay. So it's very obvious, right? The crowd's overly exposed to soy. And I mean, you're not surprised. It is what it is. But I mean, look, I hope we have a happy ending for them. Just telling you, like, I don't want to be on that same side of the boat. No way. No way in hell. So, like, Soylana goes up over a certain period and all the non-believers from last year, now they sell the rest of their bags to go buy the top. Now you're on every single mainstream YouTube influencer channel. Everyone's in, man. You've literally got everyone in. That's the most important part. Okay, so you got to decide what you want to do, how you manage risk with that. Okay, you already know, friends. Your ticket to smashing it, it's not going to be in these hardcore, very expensive layer 1 tech coins, okay? That game is for people's clip size at 10 million bucks. They got to put a fund in. Okay, you're happy with your 2x or your 3x. Good luck to you, okay? For everyone else out there, we're not getting our 50 or 100x in these big fat market cap coins anymore. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.